My name is Floris Keverling Buisman. I'm a partner with 475 High Performance Building Supply, and we helped the Bright and Green project along, getting airtight. So very exciting that the project is finishing now and getting ready for occupants. So we helped out getting the building very airtight with our Proclima Tesconvana tapes to tape all the seams and overlaps, and also the gaskets for all the pipes and penetrations into the building. It's a very tight passive house building that needs to be very air sealed. So our membranes and tapes and gaskets really help out closing those critical gaps, with a long-term and also low VOC product. So it will last very long time. This Tesconvana tape tested for over 100 years, so you can have a very airtight, long-lasting building. So that's a very big benefit, especially if you're on the coastline where it's very windy sometimes. Making it very airtight helps keep that uncomfortable coastal feeling out.
Master contractor services?
All right, so we went to the site a couple times in the beginning when they were putting up the panels, just to make sure that we were still being able to tape the panels on the inside. It's always one of the tricks with these kind of this type of building, is that sometimes if you put the panel too close in the corner, you can't tape around it anymore. So we addressed that with the team to come up with ways to tape the corners, tape all the seams very well with the Tesconvana tape. They actually did a remarkable job, because some areas were very tight, and I pointed out, this is going to be difficult, but they were very good and diligent applying the tape everywhere in the right way. So then when it came around the first time that we could actually do a blower door test, when most of all the seams were taped and all the windows were installed and taped with the Tescon Profile tape, then we actually already had a really good blower door test right away, which is very satisfying to see. And so they actually could bring down the number far lower than was required for a passive house. So our system really helped them achieve that air tightness, that super air tightness that the passive house looks for. Yes, so I started doing passive house buildings about 6-7 years ago, and I've been very involved with the newer passive house and promoting it. But so since that time, I've been doing passive house buildings and airtight construction, and that was one of the reasons I started importing the Proclima tapes, is because we were unable to get the buildings very airtight, because the tape was falling off and everything we were trying wasn't really working. So now with these great German products from Proclima that we're importing, we can actually build very good passive house buildings that we know will work and will last for a long time. It's very important for a couple of reasons. I said that it will really help with the comfort of the building, so you have no more drafts. But the other really important aspects are the indoor air quality. The air quality is done with a ventilator, a heat recovery ventilator that filters the air. So the air inside is actually cleaner than the air outside. So what it also means is that the airtightness is very important, because now we can control which air comes in and which air is filtered. If we have gaps in our buildings, well, we don't know what's happening, what's coming into the gaps. And now we have no more gaps, so we're very comfortable. We get very low energy bills, because our air that we pay to heat or cool stays where it should be, on the inside, and the ventilation brings it in and outside, but it's very controlled. So you have very good indoor air quality, very good comfort, and then also very low energy bills, because we have a nice amount of insulation that works together with the air sealing. Yeah, so what I like about Bright and Green is that it's a pretty dense building, so which is also one of the good things, because if you huddle together, it's much easier to have low energy bills, to have a good insulation, to have good air tightness, and actually condition the space. If you live together, it's much easier to have low energy bills, and you don't have to make super thick walls to have a super well-performing building. If you have a single-family house, you may need to make the walls much thicker. So making this nice compact building, which looks great, also has renewables on it, is a really good addition, I think, for urban living, good transportation, but then also all the benefits, low energy, etc. So yeah, what I think is very important is that the quality of life is you'll spend most of your time inside. So if your inside is not healthy, so if you use the wrong materials or they're off gas or they don't last long or there's air leaks and you have condensation, you can get a lot of problems. So in Bright and Green we have very good, our tapes are very low VOC or no VOC, so it's very airtight. You have the heat recovery ventilation, so everything combined together, you get really good air quality, nice low energy bills with really high comfort. So what else do you want? I don't know. Yeah, no, I didn't do that there. I did that might be been somebody else. I do have a smoke machine, but most of the time in a building this tight, the smoke machine won't really show that many. It doesn't really help to find the leaks because it's already so tight. Very leaky building. It's very fun to do a smoke machine in a leaky building because the smoke will come out everywhere. Yeah. I think it sets a really nice example in that area for what can be a really sustainable building. So you can have a very, what you see on the outside, with the renewable elements and with the nice views that you can have from the building. So that it's a very positive thing, I think, for the neighborhood to have such a exemplary building for people to see if they can have a house that good as well. So with the design, which is, it starts with the airtightness and the heat recovery ventilation, but what you can also see is there's some good attention for shading and with the insulation. So it means when it actually will get warmer, it doesn't mean that the building will heat up too much because the sun is being capped out of the building at the right times in the middle of the summer. So the building will be able to, for one, if the temperature go up, stay cooler, easier. And second of all, then of course when it's so built so well, it's able to weather storms or any weather extremes much better. There's a lot of exciting things in Bright and Green, but most exciting for me was that we did the first blower door test, and he already passed the passive house standard when I did the first test there, because normally we have to go back once or twice. So it really showed that the contractor and the team really wanted to make it work and did a great job air sealing and taping the building up before I showed up. Normally when I show up for the first test, we don't make the grade right away and I have to come back a couple of times. So that was really commendable for the building. All right. So I really like living in the brownstone that I live in right now. I make it almost a passive house, so I would not be inclined to move so fast. My wife, however, really likes views and the ocean, so that might be a little tough argument to see. So I think my wife would be more prone to want to live in Bright and Green on the top floor than myself. But I do, I am a little jealous of the airtightness of the building compared to my currently not super airtight brownstone. Yeah, so no, it was great to see that they were doing an apartment building, which is really one of the first apartment buildings in New York City that's going for all these standards. So passive house, living building, etc., which is very great because it's really they're not the easiest things to achieve. So it was great to see that, and then also, as I mentioned before, that how they really wanted to do the right thing and do everything right. So that's why I said with the blower test I show up. Normally we have to fix some stuff. Yeah, we found a couple leaks. Of course, you always find a couple leaks, but it was like the attention to detail was done really well at an early stage for the air seal.